Welcome to Roto's Questions, and this will be the good news episode one. As last week's video was just an intro video about what this series is going to be about. So everything I talk about on these episodes, won't necessarily have had to have happened this week. All it means is that I heard about it this week, or I'm just getting a chance to talk about it this week. So even if something happened, last month or last year, or even 10 years ago, and I'm just hearing about it now, I'll take the time to just mention it on here. So here we go. So just one of the first things I wanted to talk about is that on September 21st, there's going to be an International Day of Peace Meditation. So mark this on your calendars because I think it's very important. When people get together and have that synergy going, it can really make a difference. So when people all around the world meditate at the same time with the same intention, I really believe that we can make a difference. So even if you've never meditated or you meditate daily or a few times a day or just once in a while, I think this would be a very important event for someone to join in and just join in on the fun and help make a difference in the world, because we need all the help that we can get right now with all of the stuff that's going on in the world. I mean, you just need to look around to see the kind of stuff that's going on in the world, and any little thing that people are willing to do to help increase the peace and love, I'm all for it. And group meditations, they've actually been scientifically proven to make a difference. So if you want to learn more about that, just feel free to look it up. So just remember, September 21st, International Day of Peace Meditation. The second thing I want to talk about this week is about Roseanne. Roseanne Barr from the Roseanne show. I was never really a fan of her show or whatever, but I'm really a fan of what she's been saying lately and the things that she's been talking about. So she's been speaking out on a lot of issues lately, and more importantly, on what actually goes on in Hollywood. So it's rare when you find a celebrity that actually speaks out against the people that control Hollywood. Like a few people have done it, like obviously Tupac did it, Dave Chappelle has done it, but there's not that many people that speak out about what really goes on. So anytime that anyone does speak out on these issues, it's important that we take the time to listen and acknowledge the bravery of this person, because it does take courage to do this, as other people who have done this same kind of whistleblowing have met violent opposition. So there's a lot at stake for these people to speak out, and that's why we don't see as many people do it, because they're scared. So one of the things that she's been the loudest about lately is about how MKUltra runs Hollywood. MKUltra was a CIA program, and it's very important. If you don't know what MKUltra is, it's pretty much mind control. So look it up. It's been around for over 50 years, and it has a Canadian connection. So it's just important. I'd love to see when people speak out against this, especially people that have been in the industry and have inside knowledge. It's important to listen to these people. All right, so something else I've been very happy to see, which has been going on for a while now, and I just want to touch on it now because this is the first episode, is how many people are saying no to the pharmaceutical industry and to modern medicine in favor of just good old natural cures and remedies. This is awesome because of the fact that I know for a fact that pharmaceutical companies are not in the business of curing anyone. Their business is creating customers and making people dependent on drugs. And we don't need any more drugs in our society. We just need people to get better. And so one way of doing that is natural cures. So the more we turn to natural cures, the healthier we'll be and the less power that these pharmaceutical giants will have. So please research natural cures and remedies, as there's pretty much something out there for every disease or ailment that you can think of. In these 3 pictures that I've posted here, there's just 3 examples, and the list is literally endless. And I personally have just started using coconut oil to improve my oral health, and I'll post results after a month, as I think a month is a pretty fair amount of time to see what kind of benefits or whether there are any benefits. So I'll let you guys know in a few weeks about how that's going for myself. All right, so lately there's been a picture circulating around a United States University campus of a girl that has facial hair, and all kinds of people were ridiculing her because of it. You know, girls aren't supposed to have facial hair, so yeah, let's all point and laugh, right? So this girl had no idea that this was going on, and one of her friends pointed it out to her, and she saw it on Facebook. So when she found out about this, I thought her response was pretty amazing. You know, instead of lashing out at people, you know, or crying about it and hiding in a corner or becoming depressed, she did something quite unique. You know, she told people that she was proud of her body and that she considered her body sacred, and that's why she wanted to keep it intact and not modify it in any way. You know, she also went on to describe how she focuses more on her actions and thoughts than the way she looks because, you know, after we're gone, people will remember what you did and how you made them feel. No one's going to remember or care how you looked. You know, and like our bodies, you know, it's just a body. Our bodies are all going to fade and, you know, the skin's going to wrinkle and all that. So what's really important? And that's what this girl was focusing on. What is really important? And she's proud of her body and her faith. You know, so she also told that people around campus that she encouraged anyone that sees her around campus to come up to her and talk to her about what they think, or so that she can explain to them more about her faith and what she feels, because you know she just wants to educate people on this subject instead of, you know, people just talking about her without actually knowing anything about her. You know, so I thought her response was pretty awesome. It was really good just to see someone take a different kind of response instead of, you know, violence or something else that would have just kept the spiral turning downwards and keep it going negatively. She changed the whole situation and turned it into something positive. So I thought that was pretty awesome. All right, so another story that I want to share for this week too is that right now in California, I believe in the San Francisco Bay, I may be wrong, it might be Oakland, they're pretty close together, that there's been thousands of Californians blocking the entrance to an Israeli ship that, you know, has a lot of cargo on board. And the reason they're doing this is just to show Israel that the world is not going to support all the war crimes that they're doing, you know, that is part of the whole boycott Israel thing that's going on right now. And I think it's just wonderful that people, especially in the United States, you know, where their government is so supportive of Israel and their crimes, that these people are taking a stance and saying, no, we will not support Israel. We will not support what you're doing to Gaza. So I think it's pretty awesome that these people are doing it. They've been blocking it for about a week now, almost a week. So it's pretty awesome, and kudos to them. So keep up the good work. And just another story on the same subject too is something that Turkey is doing for the people of Gaza. You know, because one of the things that Israel has destroyed in their recent like bombing campaign is they destroyed the only power plant that exists in Gaza. That's crazy. Like, how can they even do that? How are these people supposed to have power or anything when they just had their power plant destroyed? But so the good thing that Turkey has done is there's a power plant on a boat being sent to Gaza right now. And I think that's awesome for Turkey to step up and say, hey, we're going to help you out. You lost a power plant, we're going to send you one. So kudos to Turkey as well. And for them, also keep up the good work for everyone around the world that is helping people that are suffering. And it's not just in Gaza, it's everywhere. So kudos to anyone out there that's making a difference to lend a helping hand to those in need. You know, and one more thing that I want to talk about this week is there's a new kind of food truck that has just emerged. So this is in this is also coming from the States, and it's in Minneapolis. This is where it started, but now it's also expanded to a few other states. You know, so the whole idea about this truck is that it's called a reverse food truck. So instead of the usual truck that sells foods to customers, this one encourages people to bring food and donations to the truck. So what they're trying to do is, you know, just raise raise money and gather food to feed the needy, feed the homeless, make a difference in their community. So the truck drives around. It's just like any other truck, it parks in hot spots and people can just bring their food and cash there. This same company owns a brewery who takes some of the profits from that brewery to help the needy as well. Their plan is to turn beer into food. So if you're ever in Minneapolis or South or North Dakota or in Wisconsin, look up Finnegan's Brewery and look up their reverse food truck. I think their idea is pretty awesome, and it'd be pretty awesome to see this idea expand to all the states, to Canada, and around the world, because we always can use more people helping people. There's definitely a lot of people out there in need. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for this week. It was pretty basic, just a few stories. I don't want to make it too long. So, as always, if you have any stories that you would like to share, please just send me an email, rotosquestions@outlook.com, or just leave a comment on the video or the Facebook page or anything. And yeah, so just thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.